Hello, this is Sarah Brush. Welcome back to my channel. So I want to do a quick video about how the Stanford Law Federalist Society students were doxxed by Mark Joseph Stern, a journalist at Slate, which I actually consider to be a wholly fake news press. And so they were doxxed, and they were first doxxed, according to Mark Joseph Stern on Twitter, by the Above the Law blog. Now, I already did a video. I just did a video, like a 16-minute long video that lays out the beat by beat everything that happened in the free speech debacle at Stanford Law very recently, where the Federalist Society students filed a formal complaint against a student who had produced a satirical flyer that made fun of the Federalist Society, and then that student who had produced the flyer had a hold put on his graduation, which threatened his bar exam. So it was a whole mess. Everything's been sorted out now, except for the fact that Mark Joseph Stern of Slate doxxed the Federalist Society students, which infuriates me. And I told everyone, do not dox those students. And he said that they were first doxed by the Above the Law blog. So, of course, this is reminiscent of what happened to me. I'm the entirely innocent victim of the Living or Not Being Well Black hate crime hoax at Yale, and I was immediately, like almost instantaneously, my life was destroyed. I almost died. I almost killed myself countless times. I was deluged with death threats. I was defamed in basically every news media outlet that exists. My lifelong human and civil rights, academic and legal careers were destroyed, etc., etc. I had to go into hiding for my personal safety. I have had to spend tens of thousands of dollars on attorneys. I'm continued to try to not only restore due process and equal protection at Yale, but simply clear my name. I can't get a job. I don't know how I'm going to support myself and live. I'm probably going to be homeless. At some point, I can't get any job, not even like at a gas station. So anyway, so of course I was very concerned about that happening to the Federalist Society students, especially because I have the strong feeling that we don't actually have the whole story. I think there's more to the story, but regardless, even if the Federalist Society students did do something wrong and immoral, and even if they were trying to disrupt the graduation and the life of the student who produced that satirical flyer, they did not commit a crime, and we are destroying ourselves by subjecting nobodies, private citizen nobodies, to trial by Twitter without due process. We're destroying ourselves. We are destroying ourselves. We are undermining our courts. We are undermining the constitutional principles of due process and equal protection. We are destroying ourselves. Please understand that. And so, regardless, so even if the Federalist Society students at Stanford Law are not perfect angels, I did not want to see that happen to them. And I made that very clear. I was adamant about that point. And I am furious and infuriated and livid, beyond livid, that Mark Joseph Stern of Slate and of the Above the Law blog chose to dox those students and put their lives in danger and try to destroy their lives and get them killed via trial by Twitter without due process. I am furious. I'm furious. I am livid. Mark Joseph Stern of Slate should resign in abject shame for doxing those students. It was completely unnecessary. The Above the Law blog should shutter itself in abject shame for doxing those students. It was completely and totally unnecessary. They're putting those students' lives in danger. and they're trying to destroy their lives and get them killed via trial by Twitter. And that is exactly what Above the Law blog did to me, and what Slate did to me. I almost died. I'm an innocent anti-racism Yale grad student and civil rights attorney. My life was destroyed. I almost died. I can't get a job at a gas station. I'm probably going to be homeless. And that's the truth. And I did not want to see that happen to anyone else. We have to stop this. We're in the midst of a moment of mass cultural insanity, and we are just quite literally destroying ourselves by doing this. So above and beyond the fact that I'm furious that those students, the Federalist Society students, were doxxed, I now, seeing everything that has happened, I now suspect strongly that in some way, shape, or form, this entire debacle was a stunt, maybe in particular by Mark Joseph Stern of Slate, to smear the Federalist Society. Mark Joseph Stern of Slate clearly abhors the Federalist Society, clearly abhors the Federalist Society. He's the one who doxed the Federalist Society students. And also, this is my main point, Stanford could have released that graduation hold at any point. At any point. Stanford, I understand that it was the Stanford administration that placed the graduation hold on the students' record, and that it was not actually Stanford Law who did this. But Stanford could have released that hold at any point. It was completely within their power to simply release that graduation hold. But understand, if they had done that, if they had just released the graduation hold so that it was no longer a threat to the one student's bar exam or in their plans for their future, then there would have been no story. There would have been no story. And I now wonder if, I don't know if I want to go so far as to call this a hoax, but I think it was a stunt. I think it was a stunt to smear the Federalist Society, to take advantage of the situation and to smear the Federalist Society after the fact. And I think there may have been some gross violations of journalistic ethics. Excuse me. And I also think that perhaps Mark Joseph Stern or someone at Slate perhaps paid. I believe that there could have possibly been some kind of payment to the Above the Law blog, because they're not like officially technically journalists. It's some blog. I don't even know like what their status is considered to be, but I'll bet they received some kind of payment to be the first ones to dox those students, because then Mark Joseph Stern of Slate could feign innocence and say, oh, well, they were already doxed by the Above the Law blog, so I'm just referencing the Above the Law blog. They already doxed those Federalist Society students. And I now also wonder if there was not some kind of manipulation, some kind of involvement of Stanford and Stanford Law to not release the hold until after the national news media stories had gained traction, so that the Fire Org could claim victory, and so that, Mark Joseph Stern and could reap the benefits of, having a huge national news media story and also claim victory. So I almost wonder, I don't think there was probably a payment, but I wonder if there was some kind of request not to release the graduation hold until after the national news media stories hit, and hit the public and gained, traction. So I just wonder. I don't know, but obviously I'm very familiar at this point with how the fake news press works, the fake news media works, and how things get done, and how they care not at all about destroying the lives of private citizen nobodies, innocent or not, for moral outrage industry money. And I now feel like this strongly stinks. This whole situation, this whole scenario stinks of a stunt to smear the Federalist Society. Now, I'm not saying that the Federalist Society students are perfect angels. That's not what I'm saying, and it's not necessary for them to be perfect.